It's June 30th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR. Today, in this show, we're talking about how Michael Saylor and Strategy bought more Bitcoin. Love to see it. Also, $30 billion of passive inflows for MSTR if and when the qualification for the S&P 500 happens, specifically the admittance and inclusion of the S&P 500 happens. Pretty crazy numbers. And as we all know, today is the day. Lynn Alden versus Chanos. They got into a little Twitter/X spat. I was just chomping on my popcorn, enjoying it. So tune in for that. Plus a 99% chance that MSTR is going to qualify, just qualify for the S&P 500 inclusion. Incredibly exciting times. I'm doing a live stream tonight. That's Monday, June 30th. I'm starting it at 7:30 p.m. EDT. That's New York City time. That I believe is 11:30 p.m. UTC. That is exactly when the Q2 is going to close. And again, if Bitcoin can hold somewhere above 95,000, again, the higher the better. But if it can hold above 95,000 for the next almost exactly 12 hours from when I'm recording this, a 12-hour countdown right now, we are good to qualify for the S&P 500. We will qualify, period. Now, qualification does not mean inclusion, but we will qualify. So a lot of people in the comments did correct me from yesterday, so thank you for that. It's not 7:30 p.m. EST. It's 7:30 p.m. EDT, which is New York City time. So if anybody wants to just Google live time in New York City, 7:30 p.m., I'll be there. There's also going to be a join this live link. I'm going to schedule a live. So if you're watching this video, you can probably go and subscribe to that live because it should be available. So you can just go ahead, subscribe. So the timing is going to show up in your local time, wherever that is. I hope to see you, a lot of you there tonight. We're going to have some fun with the countdown. And hey, this video is not financial advice, but let's dive on in. All right. Today's first post from Michael Saylor says, in 21 years, you'll wish you bought more. Just another Sunday update that he gave us yesterday about buying more Bitcoin. We're getting used to these, and I have to say, I love it. I'm in for it. Never stop, Michael. Never stop. More orange being added to this tracker. And as we move on forward here, we have the 498 companies in the S&P 500 that don't hold any Bitcoin will wish they had bought more. Feverish, sleepless nights ahead for CEOs and CFOs. And again, there's 498 companies in the S&P 500 that don't own any Bitcoin. They don't hold any. Absolute insanity. And we can see what Michael Saylor is doing, putting on an absolute clinic. And he's right. In 21 years, I will wish that I bought more. You will wish that you bought more. Everybody will wish they bought more because it's so easy in hindsight. I just hope that we've all allocated enough at this stage in the game. So such exciting times. Let's get a little more specific here on the purchase. Michael Saylor posted just now, this is hot off the press. Strategy has acquired 4,980 Bitcoin. This is a monster buy for $531 million at 106,801 per Bitcoin. Has achieved a yield to date of 19.7% in 2025. We're so close to 20%. As of 6/29/2025, we hodl 597,325 Bitcoin acquired for $42 billion at 70,982 per Bitcoin. MSTR, Strike, Strife, and Stride. And wow, I can't wait to see what the Strike and Strife numbers are for this week. It feels like they're big. I don't know. Maybe Michael Saylor hit the MSTR ATM. I don't know. That will be coming out shortly. So keep your eyes on X because that will be posted. But as of right now, just a monster buy, 531 million, almost 5,000 Bitcoin. This is just pure amazingness. I get so excited when I see this. Oh my God, I am so pumped up. And Jeff Walton says, email was invented in 1971. Corporate adoption of email took 20 years. Within 30 years, 2001, email was an absolute necessity. Bitcoin was established in 2009. T plus 20 is 2029. T plus 30 is 2039. Bitcoin will be as unanimous as email. Front run, more like front sprint. Yes, we are. Yes, we have. And I love this post by Mason, who says, right now, the Bitcoin treasury landscape is bifurcated between those with long-term durable business issuing perpetual liquid Bitcoin-backed credit instruments, currently only MSTR, and everyone else who can't or haven't, instead rely on issuing Bitcoin-backed equity or CBs, which are convertible bonds. Issuing preferred should be the goal of every Bitcoin treasury company, but to achieve that, you first need collateral scale and market trust. Ultimately, for every company in the space outside of strategy, it's a heated race to build that scale and establish a track record. As an investor, beyond being insanely bullish on MSTR, I'm bullish on the companies that I believe will be able to issue prefers in the next year or two, especially if they tap market strategies is unable to reach. Now, in my mind, he's talking about probably Metaplanet and what they're going to be doing in the Japanese markets and potentially, again, other companies as well that are going to be able to do that in their home countries. But this is another reason why I'm so bullish on strategy. Strategy has a 5-year head start. They'll never get caught. They've established trust. They've established the collateral, almost 600,000 Bitcoin to date. It is so amazing to be a part of this ride, to just know that you're sitting on an absolute rocket ship that is just headed for the moon. Not our moon, but Jupiter's moon. So thank you for this, Mason, and let's go. The Bitcoin therapist says it is estimated that as much as $30 billion in passive flows will be redirected into strategy in the 6 months following their potential acceptance into the S&P 500. This inclusion would coincide with Bitcoin's historically volatile Q3, Q4 bull run. Wow. Watch out is all I need to say. Watch the flip out. Let's go. Oh, this was just great, by the way. If you didn't read through this, you're going to have to. I will post this X post below in my show notes. But Lynn Alden absolutely took Chanos to school. Before I even go any deeper into this, I just want to say it's like going down to the park and saying, hey, I'm taking the homeless guy that just came off the streets. You can take LeBron James in this one-on-one basketball game. Is that cool? Let's just bet straight up. I'm like, yes, I will take that bet. So thank you, Lynn Alden, aka LeBron James, in this scenario and analogy that I'm giving. And I just love that the brain and the mind of Lynn Alden is so behind what strategy and Saylor are doing. I just love that people like Lynn are on board with the MSTR rocket ship. And I'm not going to go through this, but basically you can read it below. But a lot of back and forth. James Chanos, keeps coming in and yapping away and kind of giving some kind of ridiculousness that he's just been engagement farming for a while, reeking of desperation, waiting to get his face ripped off. So definitely, if you want some entertainment, go ahead and check that out. Jeff Walton says, with Bitcoin at 108,000, MSTR is sitting on a $14.2 billion gain from their Bitcoin in Q2. This equates to roughly $11.2 billion in net income. That's $40 earnings per share. $11.2 billion net income is $100 million. 112 times. That's a lot of flipping money. Wall Street will be bewildered. Not Wall Street might be or could be bewildered. They will be bewildered. And then here's the actual numbers here if you want to go ahead and hit pause and just kind of scan those. But short version, they look awesome. And then Jeff does want us to know there's a 98% chance of MSTR qualifying for the S&P 500 tomorrow. Of course, he posted this yesterday, so I'm going to give it a 99% chance today if we update those numbers. Now, again, this is not guarantee inclusion. It qualifies them for consideration. This is the first positive FASB fair value accounting period for MSTR's Bitcoin holdings and MSTR's first earnings period, which is greater than 500 million net income in company history. This event will cause TradFi brains to go into full meltdown. We need to prepare for this. 1, FUD bots. 2, hatred. 3, bewilderment like we've never seen before. 4, FOMO crap talking. 5, but there's no cash flow. 6, Bitcoin earnings don't count. 7, Ponzi bears. 8, pyramid scheme bears. 9, the software business doesn't make any money. 10, how are they going to pay dividends? This will be the most hated rally of all time. Strap in. And Jeff, I am strapped in. Let's go. And unfortunately, this last tab is pretty funny, but it's not loading right now, but it's a GIF where Chris is saying X-Strategy investors are running back to buy MSTR when it gets included into the S&P 500. A lot of people are going to come back to the MSTR train. These are just people just whipping around on roller skates, and it's pretty funny. So unfortunately, it's not loading, but Chris loved it. I wanted to include it. Thank you for that. And now I have some epic video clips from Michael Saylor. So how about you strap in?
Like if you roll the clock back to 2007, Steve Jobs invents the iPhone. And, people thought, oh, it's a toy. By 2009, the iPhone's got an app store. And if you understood anything about software, the iOS is a new operating system, and it's going to be its own ecosystem, at least as important as the web. And it's going to spawn an entire new generation of applications, right? And the mobile wave is responsible for what, like $5 trillion, 5 to 10 trillion dollars of wealth over the next decade. Can you imagine someone sitting around saying, "Oh, I get mobile device technology," and you're trying to time the market in Apple stock in 2011? Like you're buying and selling Apple stock in 2011. You want to shake them. Like, are you out of your mind? I'm trading Facebook stock back and forth between $8 a share and $4 a share and $12 a share, and you just want to do this like, do you not understand that one day every single person on the planet is going to have one of these things in their pocket, and it's going to go up by a factor of 100? And you're trying to trade Apple stock between $1.25 and $1.17 and bragging about how you bought it at $1.25 and sold it at $2.11. And have you figured out the consequences of being short the share if it goes up by $100? Like the amount that, are you out of your mind? Because, by the way, I spent 30 years in the business, and I obsess over this every single freaking minute of the day. And I wrote a book on it, right? I wrote the book. I predicted the future. I made $500 million investing in these things, right? And I started, and I put a small amount of capital in. And let me tell you one thing, John, I can't time the market.
Let's be real. If you've ever tried to invest, especially as a beginner, you've probably asked yourself, how do I even find good stocks? What should I buy or sell right now? And seriously, what the hell is going on with the market today? I ask myself those same questions all the time. And that's exactly why I started using Investing Pro, the powerful new platform from investing.com that helps you make smarter investing decisions without drowning in information overload. One of my favorite features, Warren AI. It's like ChatGPT on the stock market, but with real-time data-backed answers straight from investing.com's massive financial database. Want to know why Nvidia dropped yesterday or why now is a good time to buy Tesla? Just ask. Warren AI gives you instant, up-to-date insights you can actually act on. I recently asked it where to invest $10,000 right now, and the list of stocks that returned, fire, full of actionable ideas I hadn't even considered. Bottom line, if you want to invest smarter, faster, and with more confidence, Investing Pro with Warren AI is a game changer. Check it out now at investing-referral.com/MSTR. Online shopping has never been easier, but this ease is new enough that we remember a time when entering all our credit card info every time we purchased something online was the norm. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore thanks to Shopify. That's right, that purple Shop Pay button that makes it seamless to purchase online is powered by Shopify. And Shopify doesn't just make it easy to buy, it makes it incredibly easy to start a business no matter your experience. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and they make it super easy to get up and running with beautiful, ready-to-go templates and built-in marketing and email tools. Worried about tracking inventory, payments, and analytics? No stress. Shopify helps you manage it all from a single dashboard. And back to that iconic purple Shop Pay button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/MSTR. Go to shopify.com/MSTR, shopify.com/MSTR.
12 months, what's going on? Bitcoin is still running harder than it has been, up 61%. The Magnificent Seven and the S&P are underperforming. They're struggling. The tariff wars, the trade wars have been a challenge for them. There's been a general mainstream lagging of confidence, and that's caused a surge in gold. But Bitcoin is running much harder than gold. Real estate soldiers on and bonds continue to fail. Bitcoin's outperforming all asset classes this decade too. So it continues with what you would expect, 56% on average ARR for the past nearly 5 years. More than double the Mag 7. That's more than double, about double the S&P. You've got gold, a little bit of a surge starting to catch up, but gold's still underperforming the S&P, and real estate less. This is an important chart. Here's what this chart is telling you. The cost of equity is 13%. That means that if a company's capitalized on gold, real estate, bonds, soybeans, oil, any other commodity, it can't beat the cost of equity. You cannot sell equity to buy real estate. It's dilutive. There is only one asset that a company in the world can hold that you can capitalize on that is higher than the cost of equity, and that is Bitcoin. And so you see the explosion in Bitcoin treasury companies is because now that the world's recognized a digital commodity, they also recognize it beats the cost of equity. That means that every public company, in theory, should recapitalize on Bitcoin, because when they sell equity, they're actually generating profits. They're creating an accretive transaction for their shareholders, right? The world is waking up to this. You see that hence you see an explosion, in the shares of Metaplanet and Smarter Web and H100 and Blockchain Group, right? This is going to continue. These companies are going to catch fire everywhere in the world, in every capital market, for one simple reason. Investors can see that 56% is more than 13%. It's just that simple.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR today. Here we are, 0 days, hodl the line. A lot of you have been with me since the 40s. I started this countdown in the 40s, and you've been with me every single day as we've counted down. Today is finally the day. 0 days left. From when I'm recording this, almost exactly 12 hours left until Q2 closes for Bitcoin. And if MSTR can hold above 95,000, we're going to qualify for inclusion of the S&P 500. Right now, we're at about 107,500, kind of fluctuating between that right now. I don't know where it is when you're watching this, but it's still a very nice, solid buffer at the time that I'm recording this. So hopefully that remains for the next 12 hours, because it will be amazing times. Again, I'll mention it as we kind of are signing off here. 7:30 p.m. EDT. I will be starting a live that will be running past 8 p.m. EDT. This is New York City time, to celebrate the S&P 500 qualification. Hopefully it is a celebration. I expect it to be a celebration, and I would love for anybody that wants to join me to check it out. I'm going to be scheduling that live on my YouTube feed here, so go ahead and check the schedule. You can subscribe to it. Let me know if you're coming. Put in the comments below as well. I'd love to see it if you are coming tonight. This is the last time you're going to be hearing me talk about the hodl the line, because we're going to do this. I have strong confidence that we're going to do this. So just like Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.